What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's the Omar Saleh, and today I am with Hussam, which also has a channel called
Layman Behavior.
Yes.
Why did it take me so long?
Go check it out if you haven't already. Make sure to subscribe. Today we are doing a new series that I'm starting that I'm calling 15 Minutes. So we're gonna have a controversial topic. We have 15 minutes. The guest will always decide which take to go, agree or disagree, and I will play devil's advocate in every episode. That means there will come times where I'll be on a very hot seat. Just know I'm playing devil's advocate. Or am I?
I'm scared. I'm really scared.
So for today's topic, we are starting with OnlyFans.
Oh God.
Guys, as you know, OnlyFans has been on the rise recently, and so many celebrities have been coming out. I don't even know if you call them celebrities, but celebrities, let's say, have been coming out, doing it, making shit ton of money out of it. And that left a lot of holes in the world, asking, is this okay? Is this normal? Some of them even showing their parents on their channels, and their parents look proud or swimming in money. So maybe it's the devil's work. I know.
God.
So we are here today to talk about it. I'm sure you guys have already your 2 cents about it, but we're just gonna add to it because why not? This is the statement.
Okay.
OnlyFans. Whose fault is it? Men or women? Pick a side.
Oh God. Okay, so this is complicated, but
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna say men. I'm gonna say it's men's fault.
You can say it's men's fault.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's the guys. Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. Honestly,
Oh God.
I did not expect that. I
What?
was
Really?
I thought you were gonna
expect
go
that?
women, and I was gonna have to defend.
No.
So you think it's the men's fault?
Like obviously, like there's like you could blame both sides, but I think it's more on the guys. I definitely think it's more on the guys.
It's more on the guys.
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And go. State your case.
Oh God. Okay. I feel like I'm in a courtroom.
Go.
Look, so the problem is that guys are the ones who are putting money into this, right? And the problem is like we have a generation. I'm not saying that and I'm a perfect guy or anything like that by any means, but like we have a generation of extremely weak-willed men.
Sure.
Sure.
Continue.
Okay. I feel like in general, people are just used to getting the easy way out of everything, whether that's by like relationships or whether that's by making money. So from the woman's side, making money. And yeah, I think there's a lot of weak men. So then they succumb to their desires and they succumb to this need for attention, I guess. I don't even know what the mentality is in it, but I don't know. I think it's the guys' fault. They're the ones who are funneling money into this. Like guys, I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, but guys have more control at the end of the day. Like we're the ones who are moving the needle. If we're not the ones who put the money into this, then this wouldn't be a thing.
You think men have more control?
Over this specifically.
You think over sex men have more control?
Okay, look. This is
Men are known to always be the ones who are hornier, want to go for more. They're trying all the time. They're the ones who always say blue balls is a thing.
Oh my God. Okay.
Are they really?
Oh my God.
They're the ones in control. No, I blame women. If women didn't start this business, it would never be a thing. If you know damn well that you cannot go and eat so much sugar because then you're gonna gain so much fat.
Yeah.
Okay, and then people know this in the world, but then
Yeah.
your mom will still come and put sugar in the house everywhere. Is it not her fault?
Okay.
For putting it right in front of you?
Let me present
They're
you.
putting the cheese in front of the mouse. What's the mouse gonna do?
Let me present-
Obviously, he's gonna bite. It's the woman's fault.
I have a question. What about the women that did not have good father figures in their lives?
Okay.
What happens then?
How about the women who didn't have good father figures in their lives and still became entrepreneurs and business owners and successful women? In ways that are morally correct.
Look, the problem is with this argument is that like you never know, right? So that if a person gets thrown into a certain life where they never get taught certain morals or they don't have a father figure, it just depends on the situation. You never know if you were in the person's position if you would be doing the same thing. You understand what I'm saying?
People have choices. That's subjective, obviously.
Of
That's
course.
not the question. The question is, whose fault is it? OnlyFans exist.
Yeah.
Whose fault is it? Why is this business making so much money, and whose fault is it?
Yeah, but
Is it the men or
OnlyFans,
is it
who
the
owns
women?
OnlyFans? It's a guy.
It's, okay, sure, the guy
Yeah.
owns it, but who's giving the business?
The
Women.
yeah.
If there's no one to sell chocolate, there's no chocolate to buy.
Yeah, but if there's no one buying chocolate, you stop making chocolate.
But who started even inventing chocolate?
That's a good point, but not to glorify anything. But
Okay.
prostitution is one of the oldest professions. But that doesn't mean like the only reason it would have existed is because guys are the ones who wanted it, like who started it. You know what I mean?
Sure, but prostitution also is a different topic. OnlyFans in this generation is a social media platform that you have consent to and you're doing. Prostitution can sometimes be something that of victimized, no control, homeless. Now that's actual problems. That's a debate for another day.
Yeah, but not all.
OnlyFans-
It's not always like that. A lot of times it's just the what's it called? It's a means to an end. So people want to make money and they want to make bank. They want to make cash, right? So they're like, what's the easiest way I can do this? Oh, I look good. I can just do this, right? And nothing's stopping them in terms of their morals. Hence the father figure not being there. Hence not having an upbringing where maybe they had so little in the upbringing, so this looks like such an attractive offer. Like, oh, I just like post pictures of my feet online or something like that, and then I get money. Oh my god, of course, you know. But it's like it doesn't like people don't see past the surface level of it. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, but that's not pushing towards men are the problem. How are men the problem? How is it the man's fault?
Men are the problem because like.
Where are we at right now? We're saying, oh, there's still 10 minutes.
Oh
We're
my god,
chilling.
there's 10 minutes left. I don't even
We're
know
chilling.
how this roller coaster is gonna go. Okay.
We're chilling.
So again, my argument is that guys, in the end of the day, are the ones who are funding it. I'm telling you, if there's no demand for something, then people will not make it. People will not there's no point. There will be no production for it. You know?
But there can also be no production at first if there's no employees. If OnlyFans is a company, right, then employees can choose not to work there and the whole thing stops. Imagine if all women come together and they said, we're not going to do this anymore. We want to be whatever it is. Someone says, I want to be more dignified. I want to have more respect. I don't want to show my body like that to the world. And I'm going to, hold myself morally because when I die, I just want some like good soul left in me.
Yeah, yeah.
And they just protest. What's going to happen?
So look, I agree with the fact that morals is a huge problem for both sides, right? So if we had more morals in the world and people actually saw beyond the surface level and thought about whether this is right or wrong or what, like, I don't know, had some like kind of belief in what they do, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But my point is, basically, to all of this to kind of say, is that men are still, in the end of the day, the biggest needle movers. We're still the ones who are going to press on the gas. If we see something as it has potential or we want to do it, we're the ones who are willing to put more effort into doing it. If that makes sense.
Sure, but
or not willing to put. Sorry, that's the wrong word. I meant we are the ones who have the more of the drive to do it, right? So if a woman goes online and let's say she wants to like find some guy that's really like hot or something like that and wants to pay to see him, it's rare. It's almost like it doesn't happen. You know what I mean? It's very few and far between.
Okay.
So women are very unlikely to pay for any kind of content like this, right? Do you agree?
Yeah, because that's not. Like, rarely does it happen the other way around.
Yeah.
There are some guys who do OnlyFans. There are some,
wild.
but it's mostly women.
It is.
But my mentality is if whoever controls the business should be at fault, whether for the reward, whether for the problem. So if you're the businessman and you make the money, you get the reward, you get the recognition.
Yeah.
If you also get problems and you get cancellation, whatever, you're also the problem. That's the risk you take. So you can't sit at a point where, okay, women have the reward of making all the money, good for them, but also say, oh, but they're also not to blame, it's the men to blame. No. Whoever is controlling the business gets two sides, rewarded or punished. So in that case, it has to be the woman.
But again, bro, OnlyFans is owned by a guy.
Okay, the guy owned it. The guy could
loser.
The guy wouldn't have owned anything if women just said no to this. Everything, okay, we're not going to touch politics, but just think of every country in the world that decided to do a change. What happened? All the people went against the government and they protested and they won. Why? Because they all stood together. If all the women stood together exact same way, you don't think they'd win? Men, if anything, would be left with only their hand with their dick. That's it. They have nothing to do with it. Everything's gone. If anything, they'd feel shittier. They'd now realize, oh my God, I actually have to be a decent fucking human being to get what I want.
Oh my
and I'd
God.
actually have to be a good husband. I'd actually have to do this. I'd have to do that.
Honestly, man, it's tough. I think the problem with this from both sides, even though I don't wanna like be on the fence about this.
Yeah.
The problem with both sides is that like everyone used to getting stuff for easy. Like how do I explain this? Sorry. Everyone's used to getting things easily. They don't want to work for whatever they
In this day and age.
Yeah, in this day and age.
Yeah,
That's my point.
that's true, exactly.
So my point is, if you're a girl and you have like you again did not get raised right. You don't have any morals. Like you don't see any like right or wrong with this. Like you see sex work as just a job. It's a job.
Yeah.
Right.
6 minutes.
You see sex work as just a job, right?
Sure.
So you again you have no moral problems with it. You see it as just a job, and then you think, okay, a lot of people have told me I'm attractive in my life, so why not do it? Let's see what can happen.
Okay,
and then you
stop
end up,
right there. One question for you. What about the women who were raised right and their parents are bamboozled because somehow their daughter still ended up being an OnlyFans girl?
I think that's so unlikely. Like that's such an unfathomable case.
From the people I've seen online or from some of the celebrities, I have learned, I don't know if this information is true, but I've learned that some of them, or you can at least say some, lived in a good home.
Yeah, but living in a good home, like let's say for example, you live in a big house and you always can get whatever you want. That doesn't necessarily mean that you lived a good life.
Good loving home. Nurture. Not external things. I think a lot of them they could have.
I guess so. Like you could be nurtured, but at the end of the day, it's not only about nurture. It's also about what really being drilled into it really being drilled into you from when you were young.
Yeah.
Why this is right and why this is wrong. It's also more a why than anything.
But it's a choice.
Of course.
You know the why story.
Everything's a choice.
Yeah, everything's a choice.
Yeah.
You know the why story of how a drunk man raised twins, and then the twins, they came out, they grew up, and they were separated. One of them never drank a sip of alcohol ever again in his life.
Yeah.
The other became an alcoholic like his father, proving that choice exists.
Of
People
course.
decide on things.
Yeah, but you don't know what these twins went through in their lives. The person.
But there's a clear, obvious right decision, and there's a clear wrong decision.
Yeah, but my point is when you live a certain way and you've been raised a certain way, or not even raised a certain way, it could be even like you always spending time with your friends, so really your morals become what your friends' morals are. You just follow what society tells you to follow. So if mass opinion tells you, oh, this thing is normal, it's been done forever, then you're like, oh, okay, this is normal.
You know what? Let's say that's your opinion. How does that wrap around the fact that you think men are at fault for OnlyFans?
We got the money. We're the ones who are spending the money on it.
But they got the business. They're supplying the product. You wouldn't know where to go with your money if there was no product.
But again, bro, you can't sell a
So,
product if there's no demand.
So I have a question for you. Before battery packs were a thing and people had to plug in their iPhones through or their phones through a damn
an
wall.
outlet, yeah.
Yeah, through a damn wall. And the person who finally was able to manufacture it and sold it.
Yeah.
Whose fault is it that it succeeded? The buyer or the seller?
The buyer.
The buyer?
Because think about it, if the manufacturer of it created it and then he had no one buying it, then he'd be like, okay, this is trash.
So
why should I keep making it?
Who takes credit? Who takes credit that this was a good business?
No, obviously.
So Time Magazine's gonna say, thanks to 1 million people who bought the battery pack, it's now a success. Or are they gonna say, Michael Hennigan, big innovator, pioneer of whatever, did this.
Yeah, but if you're gonna take credit for something, you want to be proud of something that you created.
And you're also gonna take fault for it. It's the same women who take pride of what they do with OnlyFans, or the same women who also should take fault in what they're doing as OnlyFans.
Yeah, 100%. But they see no fault. There is no fault.
Then just because, okay, so Hussam, you don't see any fault that you're an asshole, so now I am to blame. How does that make sense? Now it's my fault because I'm still friends with you?
That's because I am still talking to you, even though you're an asshole, and even though you're a bad person. I should not punish you like punish
in this
you.
example, you're the woman.
Wait. Sorry. What is a woman? Okay.
Bro. I'm sorry, bro. I don't know what to tell you. It doesn't seem like you're winning.
This is a toughie, man.
I don't know. That was...
bro, no.
You gotta take it home. What's happening here?
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Bro, I'm telling you again, this
convinced.
goes back to my original point. I'm telling you, if there was no money being funneled into this, it would not happen.
Okay, you know what? How about we simplify it? Let's take money out of the equation.
Okay.
There's free content on OnlyFans.
Free content on OnlyFans?
There's like some women
isn't
that
that just
do it
porn?
for free. Sure, let's say porn. Let's say porn. Do you not think it's the women porn is still a two-way street. There's still a guy obviously helping, but don't you think it's still the supplier's fault? Do you think it's the woman's fault? Because here's the thing, now you're playing with habits. Now you are forcing creatures like men, for example, to rely, or not even to rely, to adjust on a quick amount of dopamine that comes and goes so quickly. Now all of a sudden, you have a high rise in men who want to be fuckboys. You have a high rise in men who don't want to get married because they just want to fuck everything that moves. Because, oh my God, this looks nice, this looks nice, she looks pretty, I want all of it.
But again, those guys have the same problem as the women, which is they are looking just on the surface level. They think, okay, this thing makes me immediately happy, so therefore that's the right thing to do. They think, okay, I want the immediate satisfaction, right? They're not looking long term. They don't think, how can this affect my mentality? How can this affect how I feel about myself in 20 years or 30 years when I look back on my life? No one is thinking like that. No one at all. People just think, what's the next day looking like? How am I gonna make money? Once they figure out, oh, I can make money doing this, and I have no moral qualms about it, I have no problems doing it.
That's how history is.
Yeah.
So when people look back at history, they look at two sides of countries. There's a clear asshole and there's a clear victim.
The one thing I'm gonna agree with you on.
I'm not actually saying men are victim, but I'm saying
course,
there's
yeah,
a clear
of course,
winner.
yeah.
There's a clear loser.
Yeah. Okay. So look, the one thing I'll agree with you on. The one thing is that women have more power over men when it comes to sexuality. Like men have literally gone to war because of women.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the one thing I'm gonna agree with you on. But men, the guys are the ones who decided to go to war. They're the ones who are like, okay, this girl is worth killing X amount of people for, and yeah, it's worth it.
But then whoever has power should also have like the
self-control.
Yeah, no. Like if the women have power, so then it should be also the woman's responsibility to make sure that this doesn't happen. You're gonna say, oh, but it's not a woman's responsibility if some guy's a fuckboy. Technically, sure. But I look at it as, in general, on this earth, especially if you believe in religion, it's known that women are way above men in every way possible, right? They're literally like parents towards kids. So if you know you have so much power and you have been at least taught that you have this much power, why would you use it that way?
Messi, this is my point.
Now you're putting a very, very, very wrong impression on the world.
This is my point. So I you know what I just thought of something that supports your argument. Actually, which I shouldn't say, is with great power comes great responsibility. Have you heard that? Remember the Superman quote?
Spider-Man, first of all, but here we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you, like, this is why the why is important. This is why it's not only important to know why something, like, not only that something is right and wrong, but also why it's right and wrong. If they understand from the beginning how much power they have, ergo, they have a good father figure and a good family home life where they're explicitly told how important their role. You're kidding.
We're done.
No.
Nice argument.
No.
It's okay.
You're kidding.
Nice argument. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Continue this debate in the comment section if you want to. And we'll see you next time.
We're gonna get killed.
Unfinished. We're not even gonna finish this off camera.
Oh my god.
Sucks to suck.
I have no closure.
Sucks to suck.
We'll see you in the next one.